This is Jayne Nicoletti with StepMom magazine. Father's Day is this month, and my husband actually agreed to sit down and talk to me, and that is a very big deal. How do you handle being stuck in the middle of an ex-wife, your children, and your new wife?
Well, that's a good question. And it's a very difficult position to be in most of the time. But I think the key is if you have a good sense of respect for everybody's positions and everybody's opinions about pretty much everything, and you learn to filter out the noise, it becomes a little bit easier to navigate.
So you're basically saying that you listen to your own inner voice, you don't listen to the outside people, which sometimes can be distracting.
Well, that can be very distracting because everybody who is not you has an opinion about what you should be doing.
Right, and if they're not in STEM, they don't understand. They have no idea what it's like.
That's true.
If you could give any advice to any of the divorced dads out there that are curious, like how to handle something like that, what would be the one solid piece of advice you would give them?
Oh, that's tough. Be open-minded and listen to your wife and listen to the voice inside your head.
He's just saying that.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Trust your instincts. Most of the time, your instincts are correct.
That's true.
Of what the right thing to do is and what the right position is to take when conflicts or difficulties arise.
Right, and I feel like that's applicable to anything in life. How do you handle the kids being disrespectful towards your new wife?
Well, the best way to handle that is to just not allow it to happen. And so at the first sign of any kind of disrespect, you need to put your foot down and eliminate it and let your children know that that kind of behavior is not going to be accepted.
Nip it in the bud, just
Absolutely.
right away.
Absolutely.
Right.
Don't even let it become an issue, because if you let it happen once, it's easier for it to happen twice. And if it happens twice, it's much easier for that to happen 3 times.
Right.
And then you find yourself in a very difficult position of having to choose a side in that kind of dynamic, and that's where you don't want to be.
How do you address that with your children without alienating them? So in other words, how do you make your children feel more secure?
The first part of that is there's no fear in making your children feel alienated because you don't want them to disrespect somebody. That's just teaching them to be good people. You shouldn't really be disrespecting anyone. So I don't even think that that's an issue to modify or correct their behavior when they're acting in a way that is inappropriate. Now, the second part of that question, how do you make them feel secure in their relationship with me or with their dad? I think it's very important that when you make a promise to your child or your children, that it's important that you keep those promises. Whether it's spending time with them, whether it's doing an activity with them, or being at a school event, or having some one-on-one time, it's important to make them a priority when you've promised them that they were going to be a priority. Bailing out at the last minute, having things come up at the last minute, and not being there is a surefire way to A, make them feel less important, and B, dislike their stepmom even more, because the natural reaction is going to be, well, he wants to be with her more than he wants to be with us. So it's important that you make the time, that you work out whatever custody agreement you have with your ex-spouse, and really stick to those instances where they're going to be with you. And when they are with you, be with them. Don't be with them and, watch.
Just like when you're with me and your phone's going.
Right. Don't be with them, but not really be with them. Don't watch a football game while they're on their computers. Be with them. Make quality time.
Again, applicable to every relationship.
I guess. Football's okay. Whatever. make time with your kids.
How would you suggest that a divorced dad puts his marriage first without alienating his children?
Well, the same process applies, except in the reverse. You do things with your wife. You go out to dinner. You spend time together. You have time without your children. You make her the priority in your life when, you know, the children aren't your priority at the moment. And it's really pretty easy. I mean, respect her feelings and her opinions and her positions on certain topics and take it from there. It's kind of simple.
Sounds good to me.
I don't do it all the time, but you know, I'm only joking.
No, he's not. She agrees. Is there any sound advice that you would give to the divorced dads out there on how they can handle their situation better? Like that one golden thing that will make their lives so much easier.
Pack a suitcase, get out of town, don't come back.
And shut your phone off.
I'm only kidding. I don't think there's really anybody that understands the position that the divorced, remarried man with children is in. It's a very precarious, tenuous position. You have a new wife who you love, who, you know, you've failed at marriage once, and now you're trying to do it the right way the next time. So you've got that person that you care about and is your priority. You have an ex-wife who you have some responsibility to, of course, because you have children with her, and there are issues that you have to deal with her. You have children that are in a tough spot because, you know, it's not easy to be a child of divorce and to, you know, blend into a new family, whether it's a new stepmom or a new stepmom and step siblings. So it's a really tough spot for a man to be in. The best advice I can give would be to be open-minded, be reasonable, listen to what your wife is saying to you, listen to what your children are saying to you, whether it's spoken or unspoken. Take that information and do what you feel is the right thing to do in your heart. Most of the times you'll go in the right direction. Not all of the times. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. I've made them. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're just not going to make the right choice. The right choice sometimes is the hard choice. Sometimes things are hard, whether it's disappointing your children for some reason or another, causing a little friction with your wife because maybe what her thoughts aren't exactly right for that situation. Just do what you think feels right. Most of the times you'll be on the right path.
Now, if you could give any advice to the stepmoms out there on how they could make it easier without losing their sense of self and without giving up too much, because, you know, we don't want to be suckers either, what would you say to them?
Understand that your husband is doing the best that he can, and that he has a lot of balls in the air, a lot of different things that he's juggling. He's doing his best. And sometimes his best might not be good enough, but he's really trying. Well, he should get a little credit at least for that. He is trying his best. And eventually, he'll get it. And he'll understand what the right thing to do is.
I appreciate
Sure,
so
I'm
much.
going to be in trouble for something after this.
No, you watch. Can't believe you sat down with me. This is Jayne Nicoletti with StepMom Magazine, because even when it's good,
It's complicated.
This month's special edition of StepMom Magazine is designed especially for the men. The Father's Day issue is a great conversation starter and packed with articles for you and your partner to read together. Go to stepmommagazine.com to download your copy or subscribe today.